Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about low milk supply. Low milk supply is something that every breastfeeding mother thinks about at least once, and for many, it's a constant nagging worry. It's probably the most common reason women give for stopping breastfeeding earlier than they wanted to. My milk ran out, or I didn't have enough milk. On online breastfeeding support groups and forums, it's one of the most common questions: how can I increase my milk supply? Whenever a mom asks me how she can increase her milk supply, I always give the same answer. What makes you think your milk supply is too low? Because you see, often there is not a milk supply issue at all. The milk is there, it's been produced, but something else is going on. Based on my experience, I find that most women who complain of low milk supply really do not have any supply problem whatsoever. The baby is clearly getting enough milk. The problem is with the mom's expectations or with misinterpreting the baby's behavior. Things that have nothing to do with milk supply are often blamed on low milk supply, and then the breastfeeding relationship is often abandoned long before mom or baby was really ready. So it is very, very important for a breastfeeding mom to be able to judge whether the baby is really getting enough milk. False alarms. This is always an interesting topic to address. All the things that people think are signs of low milk supply. The problem is, any of these things can be present in a baby that isn't getting enough milk, but they can also be due to a myriad of other causes that have nothing to do with breastfeeding, as I will explain. That's why you should always need to know whether baby is getting enough. If baby's diaper output and weight gain are okay, then milk supply is not the problem. Alarm number one: baby wants to breastfeed too often. How often should you breastfeed? As often as your baby needs to. As simple as that. The problem comes when we expect our babies to settle into a 3 hourly or 4 hourly routine. Sorry, but breastfed babies simply don't work that way. Sometimes they'll go for a bit longer between feeds, sometimes it feels like they want to feed every 5 minutes. Breast milk digests a lot quicker than formula. It moves through the stomach in about 90 minutes, give or take. So, it's natural for breastfed babies to be hungry again sooner. The bottom line is, if your baby is healthy, happy, and growing well, it really doesn't matter how often they feed. Really, I've known some babies to thrive on 8 feeds a day, while others need 20 feeds a day. Whatever works for your baby is okay. Also, remember that breastfeeding is not just about food, it's also about love and comfort and safety. Those needs are just as legitimate as the need for milk. False alarm number two: baby cries a lot. Babies cry for many reasons, including overstimulation, pain, wet nappy, too hot, too cold, boredom, and simply wanting to be cuddled. In my experience, the most common culprits are winds or stomach cramps and tiredness. Also keep in mind that all normal babies have times, usually late afternoon and days including growth spurts, when they are extra fussy. Generally, the best way to handle fussiness is with skin to skin and breastfeeding. Baby does not sleep for long periods and wakes up a lot at night. Baby It is important to have realistic expectations about baby sleep. Babies are not designed by nature to sleep for long periods. It's a built-in protection against SIDS. For a baby to sleep more than 1 to 2 hours at a time, is the exception, not the rule. And babies are individuals, just like adults. Some babies simply need less sleep than others. So just because your friend's baby sleeps 6 hours doesn't mean that it's a problem of your baby doesn't. The amount that a baby sleeps is not determined by how much he eats, and sleeping through the night is a neurodevelopmental milestone, not a nutritional one. Baby will sleep through the night when he's ready. Number 4. Babies can be unsettled at the breast for all sorts of reasons, some more serious than others. The out first rule out all the obvious culprits. Check that the diaper is dry and burp the baby to make sure there isn't wind. Any pain in the mouth can also cause baby to pass at the breast. This includes pain from oral thrush and from teething or being suctioned after birth. Other problems in the baby's mouth such as tongue-tie, lip ties, and submucosal clefts can also cause this type of behavior. Because baby is struggling to stay latched onto the breast. Sometimes the milk flows too fast and it causes baby to choke and pull away from the breast. This can easily be remedied by feeding in the laid back position. Having said all that, a baby that is fussy on the breast is often a sign that something is not going well, although usually the problem is with the baby, not with the milk supply. If you have a baby that's always fussy on the breast, keep an eye on his weight gain and see a professional if needed. Babies love to suck. They will suck on anything that comes near their mouth. For a baby, suckling is their way to calm down and relax. And as they grow older, they learn to bring their hands to their mouth. It's an important part of how they learn about their world. So, while suckling on the hands can be a feeding cue, it doesn't mean that your milk supply is low. It's actually very simple. Offer the breast. If baby is hungry, he'll take it, and then you can let him drink. Let me just say, expressing or pumping is a terrible indicator of how much milk you have because it's not very efficient. First, you need to have the correct technique, even with a pump, or you will not get much milk out even if there's plenty in the breast. And then there are some women who simply cannot express. Their breasts just don't respond to a pump. There's even some medical condition like hyperthyroidism that can cause this. And even if you're doing everything right and you're pumping maestro, you can never get as much milk out of a breast as baby can. Let's all say this together. There's always more milk in the breast than the pump can get out. Also, keep in mind if you're trying to express in between breastfeeds, you're getting only the leftovers after baby is finished. So, anything you manage to express then is a bonus over and above what your baby actually needs. One day, you notice that your breast no longer seem to get full and hard between feeds, and you panic that your milk is disappearing. After all, up until now you've been in a serious need of bigger bra. Rest assured though that this is normal. Your breasts go back to being soft and squishy eventually, often from around 6 weeks. Although if you have oversupply issues, it can take a lot longer. As long as baby is still showing the signs of getting enough milk, you don't have to panic. Enjoy fitting into your wonder bra again. The letdown Is that tingly feeling you get in your breast when baby starts to suck and the milk starts to flow. Some women also describe it as a squeeze or a sensation of heat. But here's the thing, some women never feel it. Like never, not even once. And most women stop feeling it eventually, some sooner than others. If you can see your baby swallowing, you can be pretty sure you're having a letdown, whether you feel it or not. Some women are leakers, some aren't. It depends, mostly on the strength of the muscle that surround the nipple opening. And even heavy leakers tend to stop leaking eventually. This is really just a non-issue. Aha! Saving the best for last. While it is true that a hungry baby will gulp down a bottle of milk, it is also very likely that a baby who is not hungry at all will gulp it down. How so? Well, have a look at what happens if you hold a baby bottle upside down. The milk runs out. So, for baby, it's a case of swallow or drown. Gulping, by the way, is always a sign that the milk is flowing too fast for the baby to handle. A newborn baby's strong sucking reflex also confuses the matter. Babies have a built-in tendency to suck. If something presses against the palates, they suck. It's an automatic reflex. They can't help it. And equally, automatic is the reflex to swallow if there is liquid in the mouth. So you can see that by sticking a bottle tip in baby's mouth, you are virtually guaranteed that he will suck and swallow the milk. And finally, just because baby takes the bottle doesn't mean he needs it. He would most likely have just been happy to get the breast. Remember, if you offer me a chocolate, I'll take it, even though I certainly don't need it and should probably say no. So, remember, if baby is healthy, happy, and gaining weight, your milk supply is absolutely fine. Nothing else matters. Write this on a card on your wall. Say it to yourself a million times. Make it your mantra. You will save yourself a lot of unnecessary stress. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe.